Boom. Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be doing a technical and fundamental analysis on CCIV stock, or Churchill Capital 4, and or soon to be EV automaker Lucid Motors. As you guys know, I'm becoming increasingly bullish on small cap EV or green energy stocks, and over the course of the next couple of weeks, I do plan on making more solo analysis videos like this on a few of the names that are exciting me personally in the sector, many of which you can actually see right here on the watches. So before we do move forward, please let me know down below which of these names you want to see an analysis video on next, or if there's a name that's not here that you're bullish on personally in the sector, please let me know what that is down below, because I always appreciate that type of insight from you guys. So I'll see you downstairs with some of those recommendations. That said, I am excited to introduce some new faces to the channel. I know a lot of you are going to be familiar with some of these names, but they are new to the channel, or it's been a very, very long time since we've covered them. So I'm excited to reintroduce the EV sector. I'm excited about EVs. I'm bullish on EVs. And yeah, I'm just excited to share some of my thoughts around this sector with the Waves fam moving forward. Kicking it off with CCIV. So let's get into it. As always, we'll quickly go over each topic we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, you guys know the drill, Trading View, where we'll talk technical analysis, price targets, and price action on good old CCIV stock today. So CCIV, along with a lot of the names here, you guys, are really starting to make a comeback. A lot of them have seen a really, really significant correction over the past couple of months from their highs back at the beginning of the year. And a lot of them look like they've based out and want to see a reversal. Again, a lot of these charts look the same because all of these do fall within the same sector. But that also means that a lot of them look bullish. And I do want to talk to you guys, of course, in this video about what I see in terms of potential price action for CCIV over the course of the month and the summer. All right, so we will take a look at CCIV. You guys know the drill with these solo analysis videos, though. We will cover the technicals last. We'll dive into the charts after we establish that fundamental base layer for our bull argument, all right? So, again, this will be at the end. We'll talk the exciting price action at the end. But first, we're going to be taking a look at Lucid Motors' website, which is one of the sickest sites I've probably ever seen in one of these analysis videos. You guys know the deal. When I make these analysis videos, when I choose a stock, when I choose a new stock that I want to invest in personally, and I feel it's just smart for pretty much any investor to do, you should always look at the company's website. Not only to go into their investors tab, which we will do, learn about the company from a fundamental perspective, but to look at how they present themselves, especially in a space as revolutionary, as kind of cutting edge, bleeding edge as the EV sector. You want to make sure that this company is presenting themselves well. You want to make sure that their product is good, and these cars are sick. These cars are absolutely sick, which we will take a look at as well. So we'll take a look at the cars. We'll read a little bit about the company. But again, you guys, websites are important, especially more than ever in 2021 and moving forward. You guys know the power of brand in marketing, and this is a great example of a beautifully executed website. So I'm excited to look across this a little bit with you guys. After we do that, we will go over this article that was just released today. So it's June 1st at the time of recording this. If you guys are watching this a little later, just keep that in mind. But this is a great article on Investor Place by Chris McDonald. I thought this really summed up CCIV's kind of current standing pretty well in a very short article. So we will read through this, just establish once again a very general fundamental idea of what this company is doing, where it's at right now at this present point in time. And yeah, we're not getting super deep. We're not diving into the financials. Once again, these videos are meant to just put these companies on your radar. If you are interested in them, go on to do your own DD. And that applies even, I mean, if you guys are ever going to do, if you guys ever want to invest in a stock, don't just watch a video like this. Obviously, I'm doing my best to give you guys kind of the gist of what the company is. You guys will have a decent idea of what Churchill Capital is and what Lucid Motors is coming out of this video. At least that's my goal. But always, you guys, go on, do your own technical analysis, do your own due diligence from a fundamental perspective, and always make your own decisions. You guys know the deal. So before we do that, again, Lucid Motors website. We'll take a quick look at this. Article. Read over that real quick, and then we'll close out the video with some price targets and technical analysis. I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're excited about EVs, if you're bullish on CCIV, if you're bullish on any of the names you see here. Once again, let me know down below which of these companies you do want to see next. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Once again, I'm just excited. Crypto, you guys, been a little slow. Built this channel on crypto. Crypto will always have a place in my heart, and I'll always be keeping an eye on crypto. But the game of the markets, you guys, is you have to adapt. You adapt or you get slapped. And moving forward, I do think the EV sector, especially these smaller cap EV green energy plays, are up next. And I'm just excited on what's going to go down from here and being excited about an exciting sector once again, now that crypto's starting to fizzle out a little bit, at least for now. So subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. And of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. That's $15 a month. First link down in the description if you want a complete breakdown of my entire portfolio. So all these names right here, I am trading at, not all of them, I should say, but the majority of the names you can see right here, I am currently trading. I do have positions in, and I'm very, very excited. So I do update that every single trading day during market hours. You know exactly what positions I have in this. So specific call options on some of these plays, how much of my stock positions, how much these stock positions consume of my overall stock portfolio. And again, I do update that every single trading day during market hours. Along with every update, I send out an email newsletter explaining my thoughts. So if I make new trades, I explain to you guys why I made those trades, throw in some charts, throw in some price targets. And again, you guys, I covered a few of these names in the charts today in the newsletter. So I will throw in, it's just updates on whatever I feel is important, whatever I'm trading personally, if I don't update you guys on a daily basis, at least on the YouTube channel. So once again, if you guys are interested in that, really means a lot. Really appreciate that. First link down below. But if not, as always, no worries. So once again, close out with price action after this. So Lucid Motors, this website is so sick, you guys. Like, this is a beautiful vehicle. So let's just scroll down a little bit. Air Pure, I do believe this is their base model starting at $70,000. Let's just go to this one. Air Touring at $87,500. This thing's beautiful. And then moving down, I do believe they're probably Air Grand Touring at $130,000. So right off the bat, you guys, and you really get this impression just looking at the website, they are targeting the luxury market, which is an expanding market. You drive around, I mean, not even, I'm from Hawaii, you guys. I'm still seeing more and more luxury cars here than ever. Not even like on Oahu. I'm from the Big Island. So we're seeing more G-Wagons. There's more Lambos everywhere. And if you go to, like, obviously LA or stuff, like a Lambo, the Urus is like a Honda Civic, okay? So that's obviously an exaggeration, you guys, but it's just to speak to the growing luxury market. There's more and more luxury buyers every year, just because, especially in this market, you guys, especially in the market we're involved in, everyone's been making money, and everyone wants to spend that money, especially on super exciting, revolutionary things. Cars at that, obviously, like these. So these are beautiful cars. That's like, I don't need to explain that to you guys anymore. You guys can look at them. You guys can tell that these are sick cars. And again, this website is sick just from a pure aesthetic perspective. So at Lucid, we believe in the dream ahead. Our relentless focus on innovation, luxury, and sustainability moves us forward toward a future where you no longer have to choose between doing great things and doing the right thing. Scrolling down our stories, just go down the website here. We will take a look at of course, the investor tab. So let's actually kick it off by going to the company, checking out the company. Just go to About Us. So company, again, this aesthetic is absolutely insane. The spirit of California moves us to think beyond mobility and design for a world where life is the most important journey we'll ever take. To look beyond tomorrow and shape a future where we no longer have to choose between doing great things and doing the right thing, and to explore beyond ourselves and create experiences that remind us what it's truly like to feel alive, right into myself. Sustainability, we aim to create sustainable mobility without compromise in cars that are intuitive, liberating, and designed for all the ways people get around. At Lucid, we place an exceptionally high priority on efficiency. Our cars must make the best possible use of the world's resources, so every Lucid delivers exceptional range without sacrificing high performance or sublime comfort. Leadership, this is very important, you guys. I always say, look at a team. If you go to a website, if you want to invest in a company, don't only look at the website, look at obviously the About Us and stuff, but look at the team. The team is very, very crucial when dictating future potential of a company, at least in my opinion. Lucid's leadership team brings to our Silicon Valley headquarters an extraordinary depth of knowledge and experience from the automotive and technology industries. They're leading us toward a more sustainable future, as well as proprietary electric vehicle technology to reinvent the category for each type we build. So again, you guys, all of this said, just giving you guys an idea of what this is about. Always go on to do your own due diligence in regard to these companies, all right? So that's that. Let's close out with the investor tab. We'll go into the article and then we'll jump straight into the charts and talk some price action, all right? Investors, Lucid Motors, introduces luxury electric to the EV space. Join us on our mission to inspire the adoption of sustainable transportation by creating the most captivating luxury vehicles in the world. Again, you guys, I would say that's today. Like, the Rivian's obviously sick. We'll actually talk a little bit about the Rivian truck in this next article. But as far as luxury vehicle goes, or luxury vehicles in the EV space go, if I was to buy a luxury sedan, I would 100% go with one of these over a Tesla, just based on purely aesthetic. Obviously, Tesla is better grounded in the technology. They have a way crazier network. Their auto drive capabilities are definitely, like, their autopilot capabilities, I should say, are, I can't imagine, not significantly more efficient and capable and competent than Lucid Motors. But from a purely aesthetic perspective, which does mean a lot, you guys know that, and again, that's increasingly true over as we become more of a frontward facing society. Aesthetic is very important. So beautiful stuff here, you guys. Go to the press releases. Lucid Motors and Churchill Capital, this is on February 23rd. Corp 4 announced investor call to discuss proposed merger. Again, that was a couple months ago. Churchill Capital, CCIV, skyrocketed when that news came out. Since then, we have been correcting. But again, we'll talk price action, talk price targets after we close it out with this article from a fundamental perspective. CCIV stock, the Rivian IPO news sending Churchill Capital racing. Today, early stage EV stocks are getting a nice boost from Mr. Market. Investors in Churchill Capital and CCIV stock are seeing gains of more than 8% at the time of writing on an otherwise flat day in the markets. Today's enthusiasm for hypergrowth EV stocks comes amid otherwise bearish sentiment for the sector. EV plays such as Lucid Motors, the company coming public via a reverse merger with Churchill Capital, have been beaten down pretty hard as of late. A series of headwinds are at play for CCIV stock right now. Among these, a global chip shortage threatens to put a cap on growth for the EV stock over the medium term. Indeed, with substantial growth priced into Lucid's valuation, investors are pricing in little wiggle room for growth downgrades. Accordingly, after hitting a high of nearly $65 per share earlier this year, Churchill stock closed last week below $20 per share. However, for some hypergrowth investors, the discount is simply too juicy to ignore right now. And today, Lucid's valuation relative to its peers is coming into focus. Let's dive into the key news item that's driving shares of Churchill higher today. CCIV stock climbing on Rivian IPO news is big. Today, reports indicated that Rivian, the Amazon-backed EV truck maker, could be going public very soon. The proposed valuation, approximately approximately $50 billion to $70 billion, according to varying sources. If Rivian is able to generate such a valuation in the market, Churchill Capital's current market cap of $5.5 billion certainly does look cheap. Plus, as of April 2021, experts were eyeing a roughly $35 billion valuation after the merger, and perspective is everything these days. So obviously $35 billion from $5.5 billion, you're looking at 6 to 7. You're looking at a 6 to 7x from current valuation, which of course is a pretty staggering number, but it's most definitely possible if the sector does see a resurgence in price, like it did in February, honestly. So now Rivian was successful in raising $2.65 billion in capital round, sponsored by Amazon, Fidelity, and T. Rowe Price earlier this year. Accordingly, there's room for a valuation bump should the company indeed pursue an IPO at some point this year. Given the big money interest involved in this name, the speculation appears to be based in reality. Closing it out, bullish warriors for CCIV stock have taken to social media today to highlight the valuation of what will be Lucid Motors. Indeed, time will tell how speculative EV stocks perform from here. However, over the near term, it appears there's room to be bullish. And this guy, a Lucid Motors investing club, this is a very niche club right here, but I respect it. CCIV goes up due to investors realizing it's a massive bargain compared to Rivian. This is something we all knew and pointed out months ago. Thanks for the cheap shares. So again, obviously, these are the hodlers of Lucid Motors, of CCIV stock, but I respect the hand strength, and it will, in my opinion, it will pay off. Because I'm an investor myself at this point. So let's hope we see Lucid Motors execute. Let's hope we see this merger go well, and let's hope we see the EV sector as a whole continue to do well, like I believe it will. Okay, so important to say right now. I do want to just, again, you guys, this is a little time. This is a little time. Relevant to time in the opinion I'm about to make. So you can see here a lot of these, again, smaller cap EV plays within the EV green energy sector once again. So EV stocks, or like charging stocks, EV chargers, and whatnot, like Blink and ChargePoint, which are two very exciting plays to me as well. They did well in the wake of the majority of the market doing pretty bad. So you can see the S&P 500 was down today. The NASDAQ, if I can freaking find it anywhere. The S&P 500 is pretty much all that matters. But S&P was down today. There was a lot of red across the board today. Again, if you guys have been watching the channel lately, you know that it's not only these EV stocks, but I'm actually pretty big on hedges right now, and commodities like silver is exciting me. So fortunately, kicked off the month of June in the green. with a lot of help with the aid from green energy plays. Worked out nicely. But again, you guys, it is very bullish to see, just to tie back into CCIV and the whole sector. It's very promising to see that this sector significantly outperformed the majority of the market. Tesla as well was down today. So I like to see that, and I like to see these small cap plays within a very, very promising sector do well, even in the wake of the king, arguably the king of the sector, doing poorly, and the general market environment doing poorly. So I just wanted to kind of frame this technical argument with that. So let's just start with the retracement from the high back on February 19th of this year. February 19th, 2021, Churchill Capital, or CCIV, did reach its high at just under $65. Since then, it has corrected to a low just in mid-May. So less than a month ago, just a couple of weeks ago at the time of recording, at a low of about $17, which you're looking at about a 74% retracement from its peak over the course of just a couple of months. So again, we have seen that similar price action, that same story told many different times across the sector, which is a big reason that I'm bullish on the sector. Again, it's right here. You don't get bullish. It takes time. This is what we're seeing in crypto right now, in my opinion. You don't just see a massive dump and then you just see it rip again, okay? It takes time for investors to regain that bullish sentiment. And you can see here, we've been going pretty much sideways. Like the level we're at right now, we were at in mid-March. So for the past couple of months, we've been going relatively sideways. Obviously, there is some volatility in here, but we are establishing that floor. And I do think that there's room to grow, especially for like the Biden administration, kind of like the, not the tax plan, like the just funding the EV movement and the green energy movement through the Biden administration, and all the money printing, of course, the money go burr. So again, that makes me very bullish from a fundamental perspective. Technically, we've just based out. We've been going relatively sideways for the better part of a couple months now, and I do think it's likely time for a resurgence. So from current levels to peak, just a very, very general gauge of what the potential could be here if we do happen to see another resurgence in this stock, if they do execute. If say we do happen to see from current valuation, again, what the guy say, like just say 6x from here would be about $120 stock price, which is over 2x the value of that current. So best case scenario, if we can see that like $30 billion valuation in CCIV, that would take us to about $120 share price, which from here is of course a 6x. All right, so again, very, very impressive, a lot of potential. Is that possible? It's possible. Is it likely? I don't know how likely it is. It's very, very optimistic. But from here, we would need to see a 200% increase to meet that previous high set earlier this year, back in February. So that's kind of just best case scenario as of right now. Absolute best case scenario, just going off what that guy said. If there are analysts that are guesstimating a $30 million valuation, of course, the 6x from here is possible. Again, the likelihood of that, I don't know, but it's possible. We all know that's possible in this crazy market environment. So 6x best case scenario, a retest of the yearly high. I would say just by the end of this year, if all goes accordingly, is very, very possible as well. If they do execute, if the merger goes well, of course, that would take us to obviously over a 3x from here, a 200% increase. But short term is kind of what I want to talk to you guys about over the course of June. So the first level I'm going to be looking at from a short term perspective, as you guys can see here, just like right here, we saw a nice spike in volume, no volume at all for the better part of the past month. See this beautiful spike, beautiful green bar right here, seeing some volume come back, and we are seeing right now, since this absolute low in mid-May, a series of now what is higher highs and higher lows. So high, low, higher high, maybe come down a little bit to like maybe retrace to like $21, set a higher low, and then keep working our way up. The first level I'm going to be looking for is this level around $24. That would just kind of break this area that has acted as a ceiling since late March. So for a while now, this area at about $24 has acted as a ceiling. Just to play conservatively, if we can break $25, the next level I'm going to be looking at is to fill this gap right here. Obviously, this level might come into play right here. Just previous areas that have acted as a ceiling or floor in the past, you guys will likely act as one again moving forward on the next rally or the next run. So do think we'll probably see some resistance around like $32-$33, but I do think that at some point we will fill this gap, because this gap right here has not been filled. I do mention gap trading ever so frequently, but gap trading is, from what I've observed in most markets, at some point in time, large gaps do tend to get filled. And I do think that, considering how massive, absolutely massive this gap is, that it does need to be filled at some point. So you could actually go right here and set the price target at around $44-$45 to actually fill that gap. This gap obviously ranges because it's huge, from $44 or like $43 to $50. So in this range, I would not be surprised to see at some point, honestly, if we break $25, at some point to see a $45 to $50 CCIV. Once again, if all goes accordingly, this will need catalyst. This does require the majority of the sector to do well. But again, I would not be making this video if I was not bullish on the sector as a whole, if this sector did not perform the majority of the sectors in the market, and if this sector didn't have a lot of tailwinds from both a technical and fundamental perspective on its back. So we'll just call it there, you guys. Of course, this is just the introduction. I will be covering these in more stock talks going forward. There will be episodes where I do cover all of these in one video, like the good old crypto convos and stuff. But until then, we will just be focusing on these one by one. When I introduce these new names to the channel, I want you guys to have an idea, not only technically, but fundamentally of why I like these companies and why I'm trading them personally. Again, if you guys do want to know at this point in time exactly what my positions are, exactly when I trade them, if you guys want these, want my charts on these that I will include in the daily newsletters as well, along with those, again, my rationalization of my trades, $15 a month, complete portfolio daily newsletter down below. Again, it's not only EVs. There's a lot of, like, I've completely restructured my portfolio last Friday, and it felt super good. And I'm just excited to be excited again, because crypto has been smoking us lately, or just not lately, but the past couple of months. You guys know that I've been on defense, and I'm just excited. I'm so pumped to get back on offense, and just excited to make videos again, and excited to make these analysis videos again. So shout out to the Wave Sam as always. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I appreciate you riding me. Again, let me know in the comments down below which of these names you want to see next in an analysis video, and I would be happy to make them. Even if, again, if it's not a name on here, just a name that you're excited about in the EV green energy sector, please share it down below. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys downstairs. So until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.